Nobody can explain to me how allowing millions of people from places unknown, from countries unknown, who don't speak languages. We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them.
We do have people coming into this country who speak magical foreign languages that nobody speaks. It's a combination of Pig Latin and some kind of Willy Wonka-esque dialect that no one's ever heard. The dementia and senility is kicking in on both sides here to the next level. But President Biden wants to collab with that guy. Biden just offered former President Trump to work together. Who had that on their bingo card for 2024? In simultaneous dueling border visits, each of the two men visited the US-Mexico border, and Biden did something unexpected. Take a look.
I understand my predecessor's an eagle pass today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done?
You heard it right there, Biden making a direct appeal to Trump to join forces to get this thing passed. An interesting move. It shows leadership and humility and a focus on solutions, and giving him direct proof of Trump putting politics over country when he definitely will not agree to that. But also it's legitimizing Trump as his equal and kind of pleading to him for help and looking in some ways weak. Biden's briefing started just after Trump began speaking. At the same time, Biden gave his thanks to border agents and promised that he'd get more resources to them, quote, come hell or high water. Well, he's already got the high water there on the border, and the way many describe the situation at the border, hell may not be far away. It's long past time to act, he said, adding that border control desperately needs more resources. During his remarks, Trump showed how laser focused he is on solutions as well in solving this crisis. Sarcasm, roll it.
Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office.
Just making clear as can be, as he always does, all that's on his mind is, how can I market this on social media to get more voters in this campaign? Issue matters not at all to him. And then he proceeds to clearly make up numbers. Thousands, millions, 15 million, maybe 18 million, maybe 375 million, nobody knows. Biden called the bipartisan border bill that Trump totally ignored his comments and encouraged the Congress to abandon and not pass, which they then promptly did as his lapdog, a win for the American people, calling it truly a bipartisan initiative. He called on the Senate to reconsider the bill, asking senators to set politics aside, and for House Speaker Mike Johnson from Louisiana to put the bill on the floor. We need to act, Biden said, adding that Republicans in Congress need to show a little spine. Trump's national press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, hit back at the demand from Biden, saying instead of shifting the blame on everyone but himself, Joe Biden should take responsibility for the border crisis, deaths, and destruction that his policies have caused. Say Laken Riley's name and use his executive power to shut the border down today. Of course, he wasn't shifting blame, he was just saying solve it. But to the Trump people, that sounds like shifting blame to actually attack a problem and bring a solution to it. In his remarks, Trump said the death of Riley, 22 years old, a graduate nursing student who was killed this month while on a jog near the University of Georgia, was barbaric, and referred to her as a beautiful young woman. Conservatives across the country have pointed to Riley's death as an example of migrant crime after an undocumented Venezuelan migrant was charged in connection with her death.
We might have millions of people watching this show, but you can be the difference maker, because we just need 1% of our audience to be paid members, and then this show can be around forever. So you can make that difference. Click join now.
I think what Biden said is a really interesting Rorschach test, and I'm gonna run it by you guys and get your impression in a second. But first, Trump is, look, he is accidentally hilarious. They're speaking foreign languages that are so foreign no one speaks them. And people look at that and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. A foreign language is the language of another country or another group. There is no foreign language that's so foreign that no one speaks it, because then no one would speak it. Okay, anyway, all right, I'm just trying to center MAGA in the real world, but it's never gonna happen. So let's move on. You know what, they probably think I'm speaking a foreign language that no one speaks. So, all right, now to the important part about Biden. So you could look at what Biden said and go, this is exactly what he promised. Bipartisan unity, here he is, he's at the border. Instead of fighting his opponent, he's saying, let's come together and let's solve this issue together. That's why we elected this guy, we love this guy, right? Or you could look at it as, so wait, you're begging Trump to do Trump's policy and he won't let you do it, and you keep pleading with him. That is incredibly weak, and sends a subconscious message that Trump is in charge and you're asking him pretty please and he's shooing you away. Oh, that's terrible. And so now, depending on your perspective, probably preconceived perspective, if you're like a mainstream Democrat, you're probably gonna see it the first way. And you're gonna be like, yes, this is the comforter and chief unifier that I voted for and I'm so proud. And if you come at it from my perspective, you're like, well, even if you agreed or didn't agree with the actual bill itself and the proposal and the strategy, brother, that is not good politics. To say to the other guy, please, please, can I do your bill, please? It looks terrible, it looks so weak. So that's my sense of it. Mark, what do you think?
I'm going to take issue with that in a second, but first I do want to say it's so much fun to watch Trump kind of beta test stuff right there in the moment, like the Biden migrant criminal. He's trying to, could I call it, Bigrants maybe, Biden grants. It's all working there, and we're getting to see it in real time. Like there's no laboratory where he beta tested. He gets it right out there for us all to see. So there's that. Yeah, he's a mess, of course. But now I would take a little issue. I'll just say this. I don't think you can only see it as the two things, Cenk. I think you could argue that his move is actually a move of strength. You're taking your opponent's offering and you're saying, great, look, you guys have offered this. I'll say, let's do it. Come on. Don't go play politics with it. Let's see. It was a bipartisan proposal. Let's see if we can get together on this. You don't want to. You don't want me to take the lead. You can take the credit. It's. I think it's all how you interpret it. Now I understand why you have taken it the way you have, but it's very on brand for Biden to do it. I mean, there's no question about that. He is playing that conciliatory thing, which is all his brand. But I don't necessarily think it's all weakness that's informing that.
I have a way of doing your strategy in a second, but go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was going to say, I agree with Mark. I think, yes, the way Biden maybe phrased it was a little bit unnecessarily conciliatory and bowing down to Trump and came off a little bit weak, but it's one statement and Trump's not going to do it for sure. And then the rest of the campaign, Biden's going to be able to say, I literally even said to you, let's do your plan, your way, let's do it. And you said no. It proves that you care about politics over country and party over country, and it'll ultimately be a very strong power move for him to have done. And in the off chance that Trump had said yes, it would actually get something done. I think it's the smarter move overall to do. Sometimes you kind of got to give 1 point away to win the larger argument.
Yeah, I totally disagree as a matter of political strategy, but I totally get what you guys are saying.
But it's not just politics. You got to get things done, right?
Yeah, I know, but there's a 0% chance Trump would say yes. So if I thought there was like a
of course, he knows that. I mean, he's not. I mean, it's all a chess move.
Yeah, I agree with that. So look, last thing is, I know Biden would never do this because it's not his style. But if you're gonna do this, the Thompson strategy, okay, the Thompson gambit, okay, what you do is, hey, President, like Donald Trump, I said it was your guys' proposal to do this border bill. I said yes. You're not taking yes for an answer. So from this moment on, everybody that comes across the border, that's your problem.
That's a better way to phrase it, for sure.
And so I already said, let's close the border. And you said no. So when you talk about Laken Riley, maybe you murdered her. You got her killed because you wouldn't close the border. I already said close the border. I already said it super clear. My entire party said it. And your party, for politics, for you, that you betrayed Laken Riley and her family. How dare you? Every single thing that goes wrong from now on is right on top of your head until you finally close this border, and you won't let your dogs in the Republican Party do it.
Well, that's obviously a much better way to say it. I mean,
You
there's
should
no
run for
question.
president. That was very good. That was very good.
Democrats disagree. We'll be back.